His shark-like appearance is very memorable. Players were.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Project 160 Accession of Queens. I'm Kaisaya. With me is Jet. We'll be ready to bring you the action this grand finals day.
Yes, that is quite a very exciting grand final stage, as this is the last day of our Honor of Kings Accession of Queens, and this is going to be very bloody indeed, very bloody exciting, Kaisaya. I am very excited on what's going to happen here. This is going to be an all Indonesia lower bracket final, and whosoever wins here will be facing in a revenge tour against D35, and I am all for it right now. So before that, I think we need to see what they are fighting for.
Yes, what they're fighting for definitely is not just experience. All of the ladies that we have in this tournament will definitely get a share from our prize pool. 10,000 pesos SSS will be brought or will be bringing by the champion from this tournament. 5,000 pesos for the first runner-up, 3,000 pesos for the second runner-up, and our third runner-up, which is already Z4FE, will already brought home 2,000 pesos, and that is it. Your prize pool for this tournament, actually for your very first female tournament, you know, you wouldn't expect this much amount for the female tournament. But yeah, let's take a look at what the bracket currently looks like, Chet.
Yes, we see right now D35 sitting really pretty on their upper bracket throne, waiting for their challenger right here up next, and that would be contested between our lower bracket finalists rather, Starlight Esports and Vagos Divine, both hailing from Indonesia, and our queens from D35 also hailing from the Philippines, will be waiting for their which Indonesian team will they be facing right now. Quite interesting in this one, as we have seen Starlight Esports fall down to the lower bracket. Also Vagos Divine falling also on the lower bracket, courtesy of the D35 on this one. So all wanted D35's head on this one. So it's quite interesting.
Yes.
I want more.
Yes, definitely both of these Indonesian teams do know something about D35. So they will be seeing each other once more, which makes our finals day more interesting. We'll see about that later on, because from yesterday we did see how Vagos Divine improved their rotations as a team a while ago. We wonder, or you know, I guess D35 will just show us later on if they actually realize that, because D35 will be sitting pretty in the grand finals match series for tonight, as they watch out what will be the gameplay be like for Starlight Esports and Vagos Divine. But what does our schedule look like for tonight, Jet?
Of course, it will be the all-Indonesian lower bracket final between Starlight Esports against Vagos Divine. Might be a very bloody Vagos Divine versus Starlight Esports matchup, wherein the best of Indonesia will be facing the current best of the Philippines, D35, onto our next series, and this will be a showdown between both Indonesian teams who wanted it more this time. So this is a first time matchup on our tournament currently, Kaisaya, and I wanted to see how Vagos Divine's improvement and their rotation match up with Starlight Esports team fight tactic that they are actually implying on their games.
Yes, that's true. But let's take a look at the lineup of Starlight Esports. Reviewing the lineup of this latest team, we have Reikiri, Thina, KN, Sichik, Wuna, Selji, and Karin. Knowing in here, I can still remember Sichik. She's actually a former pro player of a different game title that is supposed to be the global version of Honor of Kings. So pretty much you also do know what it is like to perform in a competitive level for female games, and what more, the experience of knowing what the game is really like in terms of competitive. That is your team, Starlight Esports.
And then meanwhile, we are going to be introduced who will be behind Vagos Divine. We have Vyra, we have Cat1, we have Mid Idol, Sarin 2, and Lavarain 2. This team coming off of a first round knockdown from D35. They have been on a tear, eliminating the lots of the favorites from our audiences. wherein they have been knocking them out left and right and really doing a fantastic run onto the lower bracket. And this might be the culmination on how they're performing really well, and they really wanted to get that final spot in this particular tournament.
That's true. It still makes me wonder, really, Vagos Divine having ones and twos in their IGS. I think at one point when we get a chance to interview these ladies, we gotta ask them. But yeah, let's take a look at their cameras right now. One is just trying to reconnect, it seems, in our camera. So I think this is Starlight Esports. And as you can see, one of their players really love adding a background. Previously, last 2 days, she actually had a Shrek background. So knowing Shrek, you know, maybe it's a way to distract the opponent, you know. And one of the players, I believe she actually loves playing in the mall. Maybe she's just trying to find a way to connect via Discord while using the internet or the Wi-Fi from the mall. But knowing all that, you know, you can see how dedicated they are in wanting to be here in this tournament.
Yes, you can see they are really in the lower bracket finals right now. Meanwhile, we are looking at the side of Vagos Divine. We see just very young women that we have here on this particular tournament, and even though they're facing very tough competition from all sides of Southeast Asia, they are still having this very chill and very, you know, stoic and nonchalant moment with them, and they really want it. Although we really want to see them be excited and show more emotion, they are really in the zone right now, and of course they should be in the zone. They are fighting for a spot in the final, so it would be quite interesting on how these ladies will be handling off competition against their own countrywomen in that manner. And then we are going to see as well this very fierce competition that we are going through.
It's true, they're very chill actually here, and I cannot even play like seriously while lying on the bed. One of the players of Vagos Divine in here, maybe she's just very comfortable while, you know, like either slouching or lying on the bed. But let's take a look at our head-to-head for this tournament. Pretty soon we will be comparing as to, you know, how they match up against against each other. But for the meantime, just to give you a little bit of trivia as to what the current top picks and bans for this tournament, you know, we would usually see actually getting banned a lot would be the Dolia, the Mai Shiranui, Haino, as well as even Mayin. Yesterday we did see a lot of good Mayin plays, most especially coming from the side of Vagos Divine, wherein, you know, making use of the bushes, trying to find the proper target. And in terms of the hero picks, you would most of the time see Elaine, Angela, Lady Sun, Kaiser, and Dun. So with all this information, you can see how much the ladies that we have in this tournament love these very aggressive heroes in their compositions.
Yes, we have seen how much they are composing their heroes. They really wanted map control and quite a very nice aggression to their side. Meanwhile, we're going to see a head-to-head between these two Indonesian powerhouses right now. We are seeing Wunna from Starlight Esports facing off against Virawan from Vagos Divine, and we see Wunna getting a KDA of 11 against Virawan's 6.5. Meanwhile, we also see the average damage dealt by these heroes as a lane, as the clash lane of both their teams, of their respective teams rather. Wunna will be dealing 66k damage against 78.6k damage for Virawan. Meanwhile, they're taking 34.7k damage to 63k damage, and their team fight ratio will be a 33% for Starlight Esports Wunna, and 76% for Virawan from Vagos Divine. And this might be quite observed as well, as they are using the same hero, and that would be Elaine. But when we look at this head-to-head, kills will be going in favor of Wunna. I think this clash lane method on Wunna, she wants to be the one that is finishing the fight. She wants to be the one that is actually picking off the rest of that damage that has being dealt by her teammates. And then meanwhile, for Virawan, looking at the average damage taken, she is usually the one that is initiating the fights, tanking a lot of damage. That might be different gameplays, that might be different game styles that they apply, but we will see right now how they are going to apply, and might we say we might see a different hero that they might be using later on, Kaisaya.
Yes, that is so true. Wuna being more on, having that 1v1 in her lane up against the opponent's laner in the clash. And while it seems like Vira one from Vagos Divine in here loves to join the team fights, you can say, there's a huge gap in the percentage of the team fight participation. So only one thing we can definitely say about that. So it seems like Wuna loves to, go for that split push work and just kill off an opponent on a 1v1 because their average damage dealt isn't as far as we can see in this head-to-head. But yeah, these two ladies are so amazing. Usually in ranked games, right, you usually see female players just, sometimes just go for comfort roles like that of a mid or the roamers, but sometimes we often would not see female players in the clash lane. So it's super amazing to see them here in competitive scene to actually go for a clash lane role.
Well, we see usually the typical women playing in a MOBA setting. I agree with you with that. Usually women tend to go for marksmen or the roamers or the supports or probably the burst damage coming in from the mid lane or the mage type. The typical women that we know are usually doing the damage, but not that much willing on taking the damage. Meanwhile, right now we have observed that head-to-head. It is quite interesting to see these women in the clash lane and how they're actually working on this one. So Kaisaya, I'm going to ask you something here. Speaking of bans here, we have seen a Mayin ban and an Arlie ban right now. We have seen also how much of a contest a Mayin ban or a Mayin pick that would happen. Tell us more about how potent this hero is right now.
Oh, definitely. Gotta respect the Mayin. She's actually one of the top bans because whenever she's actually in the field in Heroes Gorge, being used by our female players, they're just they play like a man. Like they hide in the bush, they find a perfect position in the battlefield wherein they could find the perfect target. Like usually squishy targets, of course, like that of the marksman or the farm laners that we have. Usually mid as well. So I guess you do not want to let that slip in the pick draft, especially against Vagos Divine because they showcased a really good Mayin from last night.
Yes, that's true. Meanwhile, we have seen the current suspects of the ban hammer, that Haina and the Dolia ban. We have seen this all the time. We have seen how potent these two heroes are, most especially when they're together. They might be unkillable at this particular point in this current meta. And now let's discuss the picks that we are having here. And we see an Elaine from Starlight Esports. Again, I think this will be from our head-to-head earlier. I think this will be from Wuna. And then I think this is a Zhang Fei and a Charlotte pick that is going for Vagos Divine. What do you think about these certain picks right now?
Zhang Fei, we can definitely see that they might be eyeing for an engage or disengage. Can be used to initiate team fights or to just back away to safety for that one. So they have that safety net. I'm just not too sure right now on the Charlotte, as she will be relying mostly on the regeneration of her HP whenever she hits something. But I love the Luara pick that they have in here, as she can be online as early as just having the first item when she gets the farm that she needs. So far looking good, but pretty much the same on the side of Starlight Esports though, wherein they have a way to engage the opponent. Maybe we just have to wait for disengage from the opponent. We just have to wait for them to draft someone who can engage, because definitely a lane will mostly be tasked to just target the back line and maybe eye for the Luara. But having the Zhang Fei in their lineup, that's going to be looking scary, as well as a protector of this farm laner that we have for Vagos Divine.
That's true, Kaisaya, and I can see that as well. Very perfectly explained. Meanwhile, the bans right now coming in from Vagos Divine, we see a Dun ban and a Yuan ban. And meanwhile, on the other side, we see an Angela ban and a Kaiser ban for Starlight Esports. I think for Starlight, what will they need to fill this role? Say, for example, I think a jungle and a roamer. This will be quite interesting to see what type of roamer or a jungler that Starlight Esports will pick. And then we are seeing a Dak Tiao, if I'm not mistaken. This is a Dak Tiao pick for a roamer for Vagos Divine. This would be quite it. Would this be a roamer? Because we have Zhang Fei. We have Zhang Fei here.
Probably a mid because she definitely can be used in the mid as well. So I love how they're playing their draft right now. So, but probably this is going to be a mid Xiao. But I love the ban of the Dune because a while ago we were looking for an engager and Dune is a good ban. And Dune is actually one of the highly contested heroes that we have in our statistics. Lianpo is a good choice, or rather Lianpo. We can see in here as well the Levi. Pretty tricky to play though, because if you are using a Levi in your composition, you have to make sure that you will be able to stack, right? You will be able to hit minions or minion waves or monsters in the jungle in order for you to activate your ultimate. And if it so happens that Vagos Divine, go for an invade in the jungle, wipe out the jungle camps as well as the minion waves, it is going to be hard for Levi to, not only get the golden experience that he needs, but also to activate his ultimate. So they have to be very careful against Vagos Divine's lineup in here, because it seems like they're gonna go for some aggressive play as they have drafted this out.
That's true, and this is the first time that Starlight Esports will be using that Levi, as we have seen from our data currently. This might be a quite surprising pick if we take a look on how Starlight Esports play. And then we see right here right now it is a Nakoruru pick for the jungle for the side of Vagos Divine. I think they really want to go for probably an aggression or a very good team fight wherein Nakoruru can just like pop inside and out for probably a protect or a counter initiation on this one. This would be quite an interesting pick that we are going to have right here, as both teams have completed their picks and their lineup. This is going to be interesting, Kaisaya.
Yes, very interesting. I'm more interested actually on how our Starlight Esports team will counter out the potential aggressiveness that Vagos Divine will go into their play. Again, it's quite it's a kind of tricky again to play the Levi, but if they definitely can prove us wrong. They can show us how to actually make sure that their Levi will get the farm, the stacks that he needs in order to activate his ultimate. But I think anytime soon we will be heading into the gorge where your caster Sam Kaisaya with me is Jet. Let's get in, you guys, into the action.
Then here we go. This will be quite an interesting pick wherein how we see the Levi being executed here by Starlight Esports. Meanwhile, it's still a very peaceful day at the peaceful moment at the gorge, as we are still just approaching the first minute mark, and they really wanted to just get those farms, but controlling the farms as well on the other side of the enemy jungle. Now we are seeing Reikire getting those hits, taking those hits just to get also C-Chick online that early. Now we see that we are looking right here right now as that Lianpo is just trying to zone out the enemy mid laner right now, and it would be quite an interesting pick on how Reikire will be rotating in and out on this one. As we see, they might be in position with the brush. They really wanted to get probably the first teamfight initiation here, and let's see what's going to unravel here, Kaisaya.
But it seems like, as we can see in here, Kat is not actually going outside of the tower. She knows that, they might be hiding somewhere because they can see them in the map. But on the first blood, actually on the top side, we can see Vyra killing of Wuna on that particular lane. Nakoruru, unfortunately, maybe she was quite a bit late in joining that fight, but that is a good first blood up because that will empower the Vyra in maybe being able to roam around the map quite fast.
That's true, and we see Vyra might be in danger here as Lianpo and Reikire might be just giving an aggression out of that Charlotte, but just, I think, that Tianpo just wanting to zone out the Charlotte so that Tianpo will be able to protect the squishy one at the back. And it is just the same story right here that is going on, and the farming right here at the bottom lane will be quite crucial, as they wanted to secure some monsters right here in the jungle, and they wanted to just hasten or expedite their farm potential here so that they'll be able to initiate team fights even further in this game. Now, it is still quite tricky here on how they're going to execute that team fight in the middle of the tower, but I think they would be able to execute this one quite well, as we see crowd control immune that is going on right here, as Reikirei might be in danger here, as the Zhangfei was able to counter on that, and Luara was able to, and Cat will be able to eliminate one. Might be an elimination on two, as we see right now. It might be an off-screen elimination for, I think it's not an off-screen elimination for that Lady Sun rather, on this particular lane.
Yes, that's so true. But you gotta help me on this one, as I'm not able to see anything as of the moment. But I think I do now, as we try to get the feed of the game. I'm just not too sure. But then again, as we... Oh, I see. But I think they're already having some team fight in the middle lane. After the tower, just diving and killing off the Datiao right off the bat. Just being aggressive with the use of the Lianpo Reikirei from that match.
That's right, and I think Reikirei really is very potent when using this Lianpo. She really is the one that is initiating team fights. We see her dive through towers and not having a single care whether or not she is eating that tower damage. Now we see that is an overlord on the side of Starlight Esports. Meanwhile, right here as Vagos Divine wanting to take that Tyrant on their side, as it is still a 1-for-1 for both major objectives. Now we'll see how a push initiation here for Starlight Esports will counter that team buff that is currently held by Vagos Divine. Meanwhile, we see probably a commotion right there, and we see a Lady Sun eliminated right there by Cat. Now Cat will be continuing there, but she will be eliminated as well. If there might be a disengage here, no, it will be an elimination for that Nakoruru, and it will be a continuation. But Nakoruru will take that D-buy with her rather, and then the game, end of battle, might be still continuing as they are trying to actually zone out and push through and create pressure right here at the bottom tier 1 tower on the side of Vagos Divine.
Yes, definitely that's true. Though it's pretty still close fight that we're seeing in the game right now. There is a good push happening up top though with Wuna on that lane. Let's see though, because it seems like he's gonna get sandwiched by the Charlo as well as the Nakoruru. We'll see about that. Will he be able to make it out? Gonna be making use of that sunset to go back to safety, and Shay will be successful. And here we go onto the bottom lane part of the map though. Something is happening in here. It is a 3v2 situation. In case it was tower is gonna fall down anytime soon, but the aggressiveness coming from the Lianpo scaring away the rest of the members of Vagos Divine. But then again, Vagos Divine was successful to taking down the tower, and one more kill in the middle lane by the Levi, killing off the Nakoruru.
Now, it is still a commotion going on right here in the bottom tower, Kaisaya, and we see right now it is a very both teams really very aggressive on this one, but being really careful on how they're actually executing their team fight. We see an ult being popped up by that Zhangfei, and then it will be a continuous assault right here. Even though there's still protection from the bottom tier 1 tower on the side of Vagos Divine, they are trying to get aggressive even though there are 3 to 2 people down. Now, would they be able to actually pick off one right here? I think people from Starlight Esports might be scurrying away from this combat because they know they might be in danger if they will try to force themselves into here.
That's definitely true, but yeah, for the meantime, Charlotte will definitely be having a good time on pushing the top side part of the map and the towers, you know. gives a lot of gold actually whenever you take that one. Not just gold, but of course the space to be able to roam around the map, to set up some traps in the bushes. And if we talk about traps, we're talking about vision, we're talking about potential gangs that they can do, most especially that they have a Zhangfei on their lineup and maybe a surprise attack from the Nakururu. But for the meantime, looks like there is a potential sandwich that's gonna happen down bottom part of the map again. 3v2 situation. Let's see if how will this go, because Eye of the Whirlpool has been here. Latest will fall down. One member left. Will anybody else join here? Because 5 members coming from the side of Vagos Divine will just kill off the Lianko. And of course, no way out for these 2 members of Starlight Esports.
Yes, it was no way out for the members of Starlight Esports. There's a very perfectly executed pick off there. It was executed by Vagos Divine, and it is a killing spree right now for that Nakururu, but she will go down thanks to the courtesy of KN. Now KN getting that kill quite easily though, but we see right now it'll still be a commotion. We see Vyra trying to create pressure right here at the bottom tier tower, and that is still a continuous push. We see Vyra very evasive on her actions, wherein she wanted to actually go away from that team fight because she knows her teammates can actually handle that, and she wanted to create pressure on the more important objectives wherein pushing towers. Now we see Vyra might be in danger here, but she can actually scurry away on this one thanks to the protection of her second skill and her bottom tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, the Overlord here will be contested by the red team, and Vagos Divine will be getting that. Meanwhile, on the other side, it will be a switch wherein Starlight Esports will be getting the Tyrant buff, and the Overlord will belong to Vagos Divine.
Definitely having the chain lightning buff that they have from the Tyrant will allow them a better opportunity in going for clashes. But they're actually in a position where they're all not together, but the Luara will actually fall down and exchange though of killing the Lady Jen. But then again, lots of exchange of objectives. Tower will fall down bot as well. A fight is happening still in the middle lane. They're gonna go all in. Eye of the Whirlpool has been used as well, calling some of the rest of the members of Team Vagos Divine in here. But then again, everyone will just decide to disengage and go for other objectives on actually trying to take down our vanguards on the side lanes.
That's true. They need to actually take down those vanguards, or else their structures might be in danger as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, they might be able to catch up here, but Sayurin will be able to actually scurry away from this initiation that is actually targeting her by Starlight Esports. There's still 16 seconds on that Tyrant buff on the side of Starlight Esports, but it will be a 1v3 situation. It is a wrong move for Nakururu to actually dive there, and she will be eliminated in that. Would Starlight Esports be able to pick off even more right here in this particular team fight? And it is still a continuous barrage of skills that is happening right here, as Vagos Divine might be in danger here, but it is still a very even fight that is going on here. Rampage is on the line for KN, as KN will be able to take 2 people down from 3 people down rather on the side of Vagos Divine, and now continuous pressure going into the middle lane might be executed right now for Starlight Esports.
Wow. Starlight Esports definitely showing us that, you know, a Levi having to be dependent in minions and monsters will not be a problem for them. But as you can see in here, trying to back away. In here is Vyra, will be successful though, but looks like the Nakururu as well as the Levi will be beating each other. Quite a dangerous position though to actually check on that. Seems like she's gonna be, looks like no way out for you, my dear. You're gonna fall down onto the hands of the lady soon, just like that. Now it's gonna be 4v5 anytime they want to initiate team fight. This is not a good time for Vagos Divine. We'll have to see though, because members of Starlight Esports in here forcing the fight now, even killing the Luara. And there you go, they continue with the fight. Members on the side of Starlight Esports are going solo though, but then they will decide to just calm down just a little bit. Let's just take away the jungle of Team Vagos Divine this time.
Now we see it is quite a very nice pick and nice disengage going to the side of Starlight Esports, knowing that if they might get in too deep with that, Vagos Divine will be able to actually initiate a counter attack. Now we see someone here at the bottom lane might be chased off by Mid Idol, and Mid Idol with that Datyao is trying to actually pick off Wonna here. Wonna really wanting to get away with that. Would she be able to be protected by the second tier tower of their lane? And yes, she was able to escape that onslaught, and now we are seeing here Laverain might be in danger here as KN would be assaulting that Zhang Fei, trying to whip it off, showing it out. Would they be able to pick this one off? But there would be two people on the side of Vagos Divine will protect that Zhang Fei, but there will still be pressure on the side of the top lane of Vagos Divine. Now 5 towers rather will be out for Vagos Divine, and Starlight Esports are still continuing this hard on pressed pressure that they're applying here to Vagos Divine, not giving them room to breathe and letting them know that they are here to dominate.
Definitely trying to dominate, but the Lienpo will fall down already, and exchange skill duration will fall down. Ooh, the Charlotte will fall down too. It is now a 3v3 situation that we're seeing right now as members fall down from one side to another, but it seems like the Nagarura will try to do something else as she takes down the life of KN, our Levi from the side of Team Starlight Esports. And now 3v2 situation. There is a space for Vagos Divine to actually take the Shadow Overlord should they want, but it seems like she wants to find the Lady Jen and pick that off maybe, but no afford. She's quite fast, so they will just end up on trying to go for the Shadow Overlord.
Now, yes, that's true. They need to actually focus more on the objectives and the available ones, as they are in an advantage when it comes to members that are alive right here, right now. And then now they are going into the jungle, try to invade or probably pick off resources, trying to choke out the resources of Starlight Esports. This is a very good initiation. This is a very good team fight that has actually won by Vagos Divine. Wherein they were able to actually recover from the onslaught that is being assaulted right here from Starlight Esports, was able to actually pick off KN with that very huge kill streak that she has right now with that Levi. Now it is still a commotion going on right here in the middle lane as Starlight Esports wanting to create even more pressure once more, as they know they are a lot alive right here, and 4 people right now on Starlight Esports wanting to go middle lane. Meanwhile, Levi wanting to go, KN will be all alone probably at the side of the Tyrant, will contest that as she knows that there would be no one from Vagos Divine who will actually dare to contest the 4 people inside that Tyrant, and they will be able to successfully take that one for their team.
That's so true. That's true. Still, the fight though is a ping pong game because it's just a 1k gold lead. I mean, sometimes we see the moment Starlight Esports dominating the match, and then sometimes it is a Vagos Divine, because as you can see right now, with the vanguards onto the hands of Vagos Divine, they are in the position to actually become more aggressive in the lane. But then again, seems like someone got caught off guard, getting slowed here and there. But that is a Zhang Fei, quite tanky enough, so he will be able to back away.
Yes, they need to actually back away on that, as members from Starlight Esports are now spread around the map and probably trying to initiate team fights. But both, I think, Starlight Esports right now trying to scout where the members of Vagos Divine here. They wanted a team fight, but I think that Levi KN might be caught there. But she will be safe actually, and she knows that would be information given on the side of Vagos Divine, wherein they know Starlight Esports right now will be knowing where the members of Vagos Divine will be actually positioned on this particular moment of this game, and as they are knowing that, they will be actually rotating on the other side, trying to create pressure on the tier 2 bottom tower on the side of Vagos Divine, so that they will be able to get even more space, and we see Levi actually taking that one tier 2 tower down to clean it up.
That's true, and it's all alone right now in the base of Team Vagos Divine. The Charlotte question is, will she be able to defend this all alone? Because there are a few minion waves flowing towards the bot side, forcing the rest of the members of Team Vagos Divine to back away, and now they initiate the team fight right now, trying to go for a chase, killing off the lane soon. Who the rest of the members of Team Starlight Esports will fall down here because everyone's just going so low. So is Sishik. Sishik will fall down. So is Nakururu, though, in exchange, being killed by one of the members of Starlight Esports. But then again, as you can see, Vagos Divine in here wanting to kill more, but look at that Liepo just bursting down the Luara as well. But the fight still continues. As we can see in here, lots of sustains. Levi is gonna go for another kill in here, but two members left for the side of Vagos Divine. It's a 3v2 situation. Minions are flowing. Well, just a few of them. There is already the cannon though, but they want to find a way and actually clearing off the minion waves. Levi will fall down from the hands of that Dazio, and this is now the revenge because the rest of the members of Team Vagos Divine is about to get up, and the one member trying to back away, but he's still trying to hit someone. Will he survive finally? Back up from Ladison is about to come, but is quite too late as Reikire will also already fall down.
Yes, as we see right there, Kaisaya, Starlight Esports were in too deep on that crystal for far too long, wherein that crystal is actually hitting probably KN on that moment, and that it will be finished off by that, but by mid idol on that, and we see right now it would be an overlord for the side of Vagos Divine, wherein I think Starlight Esports might be taking those team fights for far too long and far too deep, wherein it would be time for Vagos Divine to actually recover on this one. And with that, mistakes after mistakes might cost them this game right now.
That's true. I mean, not because, one is at an advantage. They can be just like chill and be overly confident about what they have. Because, things, tables definitely can turn around. But the bush play of Team Agassi fine. They almost love doing this, and as we can see right now, they see the position of the lane as of the moment. Might this be an opportunity to try to burst him down? We'll see how this one will go, because the Death at Sunset is still available for the lane, but something else is also happening down bot, pressuring the Charlotte, but now everyone's here on the lane. Will be able to go for safety, but no, he will fall down, and the rest of the members of Team Fabs Divine needs to back away, as the rest of the members of Starlights are trying to go for a siege in the middle lane as well, but they need to defend the top. We can see the Shadow Vanguard already walking towards the top side of the map of Team Starlight Esports.
Yes, we have seen that, Kaisaya. We're in that Elaine was in too deep for far too long, all alone on the top part of the map, and she was actually ganked up with four members from Vagos Divine. It is still in the territory of Vagos Divine, where we see that Elaine was quite in too deep on that, getting ganked by four people, and those four people from Vagos Divine will be able to actually go back and retreat and defend with their own crystal, even though their crystal, the crystal of Vagos Divine is in danger actually earlier. It is still a good team fight victory going into the side of Vagos Divine, wherein they were able to pick off one, and we see that is quite a mistake on the side of Starlight Esports, wherein they wanted to actually do a split push, but when you look at the map, they only need to pressure either the top tower or the other side of the towers, wherein they could actually create even heavier pressure, because the crystal is quite open on this one, and they don't need to split up. They need to be together if they want to win this particular game. And we see right now all people from Starlight Esports wanting to win this game right now, as they are together right here, and the Tempest Dragon will be finally alive, but it will be a double kill on the side of Vagos Esports, but Sayurin will be going down on that. It will be a victory for that. Bunna will be all alone right now. She will be caught rather, but continuously they wanted this one. It will be a double kill for that, and Bunna might be all alone right here on this side of the map, as four people down on the side of Starlight Esports. Vagos Divine really wanted to defend this tower quite well. They really wanted to defend. They really wanted to win, and they wanted to actually execute the place quite better right here. And we see right now Vagos Divine wanting to get the Tempest Dragon, but it might be contested by Wona. Wona all alone trying to get information on this one. She will be caught by Charlotte. Charlotte wanting to actually chase on that, as two people from the side of Vagos Divine wanting to chase that Elaine, but on the other hand, they really wanted to get that Tempest Dragon as well, and now they were successful in taking that Tempest Dragon. That might be a big advantage on the side of Vagos Divine, as Lady Sun will be able to take down that Charlotte, and we see right now Vagos Divine need to get back, but it will still be advantage going into the Vagos Divine, as they wanted to get that comeback on the side of Starlight Esports.
But then again, Vagos Divine got the buff from the Tempest Dragon. They have the Storm Awakening buff that will give them true damage. They have the Blessing of Lightning buff that will give them shield buff. What more is that the Tempest Vanguards that's going to be walking towards all of the lanes will be able to disrupt the towers for 5 seconds. So that is a good advantage for them now whenever team fights could happen. But with Vyra not being present in the game as well, they have to wait a little bit once she becomes available and prevent some mistakes to happen. Might be just like this. Are they gonna go all in for this team fight, or are they gonna be waiting for the virus? Seems like they're backing away as they wait for them to regroup all together. But it seems like Nakururu has something else in her mind. Well, she can fly, so maybe that's why he will just be trying to chase the team fight in case that so happens.
Now we see, I think Sarin might be in too deep on this one as she will be caught in the middle of the jungle. Now, will she be able to fly away? Yes, there will be a resurrection going onto that, but it will just take her a few seconds to be eliminated once again. It might be going into the side once again on Starlight Esports as they will be able to get a 5v4 advantage. But the buff from the side of Vagos Divine, they need to regroup right here, right now, and then try to initiate a particular team fight wherein they will be able to actually pick off someone from Starlight Esports if they really wanted to win this one. This is a very crucial situation right here where even a sliver of a mistake that is going in right here, right now, might be proven fatal and might be proven crucial on the side of either team right now. And we see that Vagos Divine only have the crystal alive on their base, and we'll see how much they will be able to defend on this one, even with the buff and the shield coming in from the Tempest Dragon, as 50 seconds will be remaining on that.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. Now, question in here is that what can Vagos Divine do now? In 41 seconds, there will be a good position for Starlight Esports to even take the second Tempest Dragon. I wonder how many Tempest Dragon we're going to be meeting in this game, by the way. This is such a prolonged fight already. We are just on game 1, and everyone's not chilling. Everyone wants to really take this game 1 win and primarily maybe even go for a 2-0 finish. But as you can see, the aggression coming from Starlight Esports is already in here trying to poke down the members of Vagos Divine. But again, 11 seconds, a good position for them to actually try to take the Tempest Dragon, which potentially they might be also be eyeing onto it. I really do think that they should be starting to walk in there, because what I'm afraid of is a potential steal. That might
that could happen.
Yes, right. Because everyone's just so healthy right now from Vagos Divine as well, and now they're starting on this Tempest Dragon. We'll see how this one will go. Seems like there will be no steal from the side of Starlight Esports. Now this is looking scary and could potentially be a possibility for Starlight Esports to go for an end in this game. But even Charlotte trying to go for a split push on the one, I wonder what will happen.
Now we'll see what will Charlotte. Now Charlotte is going back into the base to be able to help her team rather, on that particular assault that is being contested right now by Starlight Esports, as we see the Crystal all alone on the ground, and might be the Tempest Vanguard will be in so that the protection will be out. Now it is still a continuous barrage here as we see Levi will be able to eliminate Sarin on that one, and that would be an exchange as C-Check will be going down as well. Vyra will be going down as well, and it is still a continuous assault. Might be this and that would mean it will be a score 1-0 for Starlight Esports, but a very grueling back and forth situation that is contested between these two Indonesian teams just only on game 1 of this best of 3 series. They really wanted to win this game. I mean, this match, Kaisaya.
Wow, I mean, who wouldn't want to win a game? If ever, you can potentially be the first champion of the very first all-female tournament here for Honor of Kings Global. But definitely, again, congratulations to Starlight Esports. They actually proved this wrong. It is not a risky play for them to have the Levi in their lineup. Potentially, this is something that they have practiced. But you know what? In observance of what has actually happened in early stages of the game is that, like during the early to the mid, we actually lacked like the aggression coming from Vagos Divine on
Mhm.
wanting to steal the jungle camps of
Yes,
KN.
that's
We
true.
did see, however, the opposite side where it was actually Starlight Esports trying to go for early ganks or the aggressiveness, even targeting the Luara right in the bottom lane part of the map on trying to kill her. To no afford, however. But yeah, I think the lack of aggression coming from Vax Divine, even though they had the Zhang Fei on their lineup, was just missing. But then again, congratulations to Starlight Esports. What a showing that they have provided in here for us in order to execute the Levi properly.
Yes, we see right there very well executed Levi. And speaking of Levi, KN as Levi will be our MVP of the game. Very crucial team fight
Wow.
initiation with a 92% team fight rate.
Wow.
We see
Wow.
how much KN is involved on every team fight that Starlight Esports has been constructed. She has made 15 8 and 5 for her KDA, dealing 253.7k damage, taking 77.1 and getting a 20.4k goal net worth. And we are seeing how much, like, we have expected this will be a tricky Levi situation, but we see KN as Levi getting this, proving us wrong, and proving us wrong in a very dominating fashion as
Yeah.
she is our MVP of the game. Once again, congratulations, KN and Starlight Esports, for taking game one of this best of three series in the lower bracket final.
Wow, I mean, lower bracket is definitely not the best place to be in. You don't want to just like go home again in a lower bracket, which is of
Yeah,
course does not exist.
yeah,
But these ladies will definitely want to prove that they're the strongest and they want to make it and match up against T35 once more, and maybe potentially to snatch out a win against T35. We will only find out later on, but for sure, these two Indonesian female teams are so decisive about wanting to get this win. But then again, already a match point for Starlight Esports as they just need one more win in order to take the play again in the next series. But one thing I realized though, like whoever wins this match, they're not gonna have much rest. It
that's
can be a
true.
good thing and a bad thing, right? So
Yes,
good thing because you have the momentum. Like the bad thing is that you can be tired. You know, most
yes, that's true.
especially if we're talking about 25 minutes matches. My
What
goodness.
happened earlier? Like what happened earlier, Kaisaya. That's true. That's really true. And most especially, we all know that our upper bracket our finalists right now, D35, will be watching this one with very well, with very good
For sure.
intentions on actually learning on how either teams will play and actually know how to actually counter pick and actually expect some other surprises. Will they be a respect ban on the side of D35 on how they're going to play either team? So the one of the disadvantage on being in the lower bracket finals that you will be scouted well by your
Yeah,
opponent, but the main advantage here is that you are going to have that momentum. You are going to have early level of confidence wherein even though you are in the bottom, oh, you're in the lower bracket right now, you are still going into the grand finals and overcoming all the adversities, all the matches that you have. And of course that would mean something, that would mean a more morale for these teams that, say for example, if you are here in the lower bracket final and you are going to win, the momentum will just continue. The morale will be high because you know you have been through hell and back to hell and going back. And yes, you have survived and thrived on this one. No one can stop you on this moment. That must be something that these two Indonesian teams must be feeling when they get this series.
yeah, that's true. But makes me wonder as well, like what could be the potential ban next game, right? Would it be the Levi?
Probably.
There's actually a strategy up against the Levi. It's just that they weren't able to, properly execute that.
Mhm.
So potentially they can like remove the Levi out of the ban list and still try out matching up against the Levi. But if this is a very comfort hero, for Starlight Esports, yes, maybe it could be. But how about you, Jet? Do you see any potential respect ban that Vagos Divine has to do in here up against Starlight Esports?
looking at the previous game, I think aside from Levi, um, there might be other respect bans that are happening. Probably someone that is roaming for them. I think that Lianpo might be really itchy to go there because you know the Lianpo getting whoever gets that Lianpo must be actually really good in zoning objectives. Wherein I have seen numerous games of Lianpo as a roamer just diving into the tier 1 tower without any regard for himself, just tanking and eating up all that damage, and we'll be able to actually initiate team fights on that as well. And I've seen other games that have been using Lianpo on this one. They were able to actually zone out, wherein that Lianpo will be positioned in between the two towers, and then it will actually create a sandwich between the heroes in the bottom part, outside the tier 1 tower, and Lianpo. Lianpo will be actually initiating that, and with that crowd control, they were able to actually create space wherein other members could actually finish their victim off, even with the sight of that tier 1 tower on their presence. That might be very crucial for them.
That's true. I mean, if not Alyoshan going up or matching up against a Jangfi in their lineup, it could be a Lianpo. So I understand where you're coming from in here in terms of the setups, in terms of the, we call it in Tagalog, the pananakot, right? Like he's scaring away all of the members. And it's so hard to kill. I mean, this guy, even if you have the anti-tank item already as well, so sometimes it would take some moments to actually kill off this particular Lianpo. But at the same time though, I see the Lady Jen. Lady Jen has the way to not just deal damage, but she can also go for disengages. So I think Lady Jen is one of the good picks that they had in there at Starlight Esports. But now we head into our second game. This is the draft between Vagos Divine versus Starlight Esports. They have switched sides already. Now this time, the opportunity for the first pick is for Vagos Divine and Starlight Esports. Makes me wonder what is going to be their best duo combo.
Yes, that's true. What might be the best combo for both teams? And we see a Luara ban right here. I think the Luara created an impact there wherein she could actually go through walls, dish a lot of damage, and meanwhile, it is still a contested Mayin on game number 2. We won't see a Mayin for this series for now, and I think if there would be respect bans that will be going onto the side of Vagos Divine, I think it would actually free up space for the most notorious heroes that are quite contested on this particular game, where they might see a Mai Shiranui in replacement of that Lady Jin, or we see that Dolia replacing that Lianpo on that roamer role that we might be able to see. Now we see a Hainong ban on the side of Starlight Esports, and a Zhang Fei will be picked off by Vagos Divine.
Yeah, which they have secured also for themselves a while ago. Medatiao as well as Dolia both open. With that, with Dolia being open in here for Starlight Esports, definitely, you know, especially if you give it a mix and match with Dolia Kaiser or Dolia Lamb, it's definitely gonna look scary, because this could be an almost unkillable heroes will be if they're being kept by the reset of this Dolia. But we'll see about that. For the meantime, they're gonna be taking away the Lady Jen a while ago, which was from the side of Starlight Esports. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we see. I think they've got the Lady Jen, and they kept the Charlotte actually on the side of Vagos Divine. They actually wanted that Charlotte because on the onset of the early game, Charlotte was able to actually go on face-to-face one-on-one with Wonna as a lane, and it would be probably a momentum shift for them if they were able to execute team fights properly with the Charlotte being a very having that high damage potential and that sustain probably on the later parts of the game. But on the early onset of the game, we know Charlotte might be quite a risk pick on this one, because whether or not it would be an Elaine or a Kaiser facing them, facing the Charlotte, I think the HP of Charlotte isn't that enough to actually sustain on that early onsets of the team fights. We know Kaiser very tanky, that Elaine very high damage output. It could be quite risky for Vagos Divine to actually do a Charlotte once more. And as we have seen earlier, I think that Charlotte might be quite crucial on their pick on this one.
Yeah, that's true. But we were speaking a while ago about the Kaiser and the Dolia combo in here, so they have to prepare on that invincible, almost unlimited invincible warrior. Your warrior will be almost as invincible as he is whenever the Dolia mixes of the celestial melody on her. But now we move on to our second phase of the ban. Apparently, there is no. They probably did this in purpose or probably just have missed it in here, but could also be potentially just opening up more options for them, right? But what leaves us in the middle lane options, because the Angela and the Princess Frost has already been banned in here. Maishida Rui, which you have mentioned a while ago. Lady Jen has been taken away from them, but you know what? I want to see a Shangguan in here, to be honest.
Like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
As well. That's true. She Changwon, what is a very good shout out actually, Kaisaya. I haven't thought about that, but thinking about Shangwon with a very evasive blast damage as well, but that damage potential for Shangwon, I think it could be a very potential good pick here for Starlight Esports.
Yeah, that's true. And we'll see what will be their options like. But wow, we can see a Luna in here for the side of Vagos Divine. Gonna be tricky to play with as well, but definitely has to be very careful because she doesn't have the tankiness the same as the Kaiser or the Sustain rather, but we were asking about the mid lane, right? It has been answered finally. Xiao Tao will be here on the lineup of Starlight Esports. Very actually nice to make use of the zoning capability in here for the Meteor Storm. So both of the teams right now has a way to actually disengage and deal damage at the same time. But now it will just like matter on the execution. But the question is now, matchup between the lanes that we have in here. Both of the consortia as well as the latest one will definitely have a pretty similar starting point in here. Both of them can clear off the minion waves fast, and they need some itemization to actually build up to their full potential. So we just have to wait on the strategies of their mid lane as well as their roamers and jungle on how they're actually going to be ganking out this farm lane in order to get that boost of gold and experience for the carries later on.
That is quite the statement there, Kaisaya. It is quite true, and I believe that these two farm laners need to actually step up their game and probably carry this entire game for the side of Vagos Divine, and I think also for Starlight Esports, they really need to actually establish more of a dominance even on the onset of the early game, as they wanted to apply the earliest form of pressure that they want. Now we see here, I think there would be a contest here on that particular jungle for Vagos Divine, but it will be safely taken by Starlight Esports and their jungler, as we see Reiki just act with that Dolia trying to zone out and shoo away members of Vagos Divine, really utilizing that Dolia quite well, and it might be quite some trouble here on the side of Vagos Divine.
Yeah, that's true. Just one thing I noticed though, Reikire made use of the Purify in here just to make sure she's gonna get CC'd way too much by mid-idol with the junk face. So yeah, because usually we would see her with the heal, but for the meantime, you can see one member in here from the side of Starlight Esports, or rather Vagos Divine, has to be backing away because of the burst damage that just came from Athena.
But meanwhile, going on the other side, Dolia, Reikire really zoning out that Luna. Luna cannot actually create or pose a position right here, but I think we see mid-idol really going into that, but nope. It will be a danger probably here on Reikire. Reikire might be in danger here, but nope, it will be first blood instead on the side of Starlight Esports, as KN will be getting that first blood drawn on her sword.
That's true. I mean, they were outnumbered on particular fight, and we're talking about again resets after resets in here with the Invincible Warrior, and the Meteor Storm will be used to burst down the Lady Gen. He was all alone. The bush play coming from Starlight Esports is now online. Yesterday, it was actually Vagos Divine executing the really nice bush play up against Z4FE, but now Vagos Divine learned a thing or two from them, and they have actually been executing this one in this particular match.
Now we see Starlight Esports going into this particular game with a mission to actually finish this series 2-0, but they really wanted to actually advance their farm, and they really wanted to actually initiate team fights. This will be a crucial play wherein you have said earlier, and with your observation earlier, Kaisaya, it would be quite crucial whenever this Kaiser and this Dolia will be together initiating team fights, or should I say initiating pick-offs. So them with their brush play that they have done earlier, now Dolia will be going down to actually help out the farm lane, because it would be a very even situation on the side on this farm lane. Meanwhile, we see that it would be quite a commotion going on right here, as Athena would actually try to hold on to two people on the side of Vagos Divine, but Reiki Ray will be there to actually make it safe and sound. But there would be someone that would actually threaten that Dolia, and we see that one from Sayurin, and Sayurin really wanted to get into that. Meanwhile, we see there is still a backup going on to the side of Starlight Esports. No one gets left behind here or forgotten, as 5 people right here on Starlight Esports invading the jungle might be getting on some pickups, or probably creating a zone wherein they could actually push and create and probably destroy that bottom tier 1 tower that they have.
I mean, that's true, but I think now there is some re-strategization that the Vagos Divine needs to do in here, as the gold lead is going up bits by bits, and at the same time objectives has been taken away from them from time to time, just like now the Tyrant has been taken away from them. Now there is also an opportunity for Starlight Esports to actually even go for a steal. We'll just see about that. Will there be? Okay, fortunately no steal for Starlight Esports in here, as Vagos Divine goes for a secure on that one. But everyone's just finding more mistakes after mistake. But I think on the top side, some puzzle is actually happening in here. One member in here is gonna fall down, and that would be Vyra, the Charlotte on the side of Team Vagos Divine. And they're now, after going for that kill, they're gonna create that space and shooing away the Luna, and for them to be able to go on a steal on their jungle camp, and at the same time go for a push on the top side part of the map.
That would be quite crucial, and very good zoning play going into the side of Starlight Esports, as they have actually picked a hero for them, and then they will be able to actually contest an objective. Now, tier 1 tower on top tower on the side of Vagos Divine is down. We see Reiki Ray rotating, going now on the farm lane to actually assist Tina on that, and then it might be a 3v2 situation going on here, as we see Mid Idol trying to actually initiate or probably rotate onto the jungle, as we see Reiki Ray just doing her way to actually protect that Lady Santina to actually get more farm on their side. Now it would be a 3v2 situation, might be going further, because 2 people from Starlight Esports will be going on trying to zone out that Luna. Meanwhile, here at the bottom tier tower, we are going to look at probably another pressure here, but there would be a jungle invasion. Might be shifting to jungle invasion right now, people from Starlight Esports, and now they might be challenging Mid Idol. Mid Idol now getting out of the jungle, looking for safety here, as they will be able to zone out that Lady Gen properly. Now we see in the middle lane, it is a Kaiser against Luna, one-on-one with the Great One, continuing to actually do something. But in the bottom tower, it is destroyed right now, as continuous pressure going onto the side of Starlight Esports is making Vagos Divine's lives quite difficult in this one.
It is definitely difficult for them right now. I mean, no towers falling down on the side of Starlight Esports as of the moment. Definitely Charlotte is having a tough time in going for a split push work, because the members of Starlight Esports in here is that they just keep on finding the fights. I mean, they have a lane in here, or rather a Kaiser in here that can just like go invincible whenever he wants, and the Xiao Xiao as well, creating that good space and the pokes. Look at the Jung Fei, even though he can be in a Ferrari form, that is nothing. That is definitely nothing with the burst damage coming up from the Xiao Chao as well as the Lady Sun.
Yes, we see it is like constant, continuous pressure going into the side of Starlight Esports, still doing that continuous pressure, making Vagos Divine's lives pretty much difficult here as Vagos Divine is trying to actually defend that middle tier 1 tower now. I think it is still a minute remaining to actually get either a Tyrant or an Overlord here. Now, I think there would be a jungle invasion going into the side of Vagos Divine as they are trying to actually pick off probably two or three people here, but they might be in danger here as Reikire. Life is very short on Reikire, but I think that would be a crucial disengage on the side of Starlight Esports. They don't want any casualty on their ranks, and they are still applying constant pressure right here in the middle lane. I think there would be sandwich going on here as Charlotte just missed out on that and was able to actually destroy that middle tier tower. And Sirin might be going down and is actually going down on that end of tier 1 tower for the side of Vagos Divine is down courtesy of KN.
Yes, that's so true. But for the meantime, with the split push coming from Vyra down bot, at least there is an objective take finally from the side of Vagos Divine, at least for the tower that we're talking about. But at the same time, again, pretty much similar to game 1, Starlight Esports just can't stop on jungling out the camps of Team Vagos Divine in here. Now they take one more objective, which is going to give them the Chain Lightning buff. Of course, that will empower all of them with some magic damage, most especially Sea-Chick, as well as Reikire in here, although most of her waves most of her skill set is more on the sustain and the crowd control as well. But for the meantime, 2v2 happening up top in here. You can see members of Team Vagos Divine in here just going all in, but they're going solo, forcing themselves to just back away. Look at those waves. Looks like they're gonna get sandwiched again. Elaine is coming in here. Let's see how this one will go. Dazzle Sunset has been used, and that is to go. The Shala will fall down, and more members in here though. Why might there be casualty? But oh, look at the shield provided. I think that came from the itemization of Reikire. I hope we can see, but then again, we thank that shield for saving the life of Elaine.
That is quite a crucial save going into the side of Starlight Esports. My breath is actually on hold on that as we see Elaine quite in danger on that, but Dolia will be there to save his behind and will be able to actually continue to march forward as they are trying to re-establish themselves here. Both teams will be trying to re-establish themselves as we will be waiting 8 seconds before the Overlord enhance and the Tyrant enhance will be respawning, and it is still a 5k gold lead going onto the side of Starlight Esports. Vagos Divine not unable to actually initiate or pick off a kill here on this particular game, as we are going to see probably another sandwich on the side of Vagos Divine, but they will be able to disengage on that particular team fight. I think they wanted to zone out people, and we are sending Elaine to the other side of the map to actually scout out whether or not the Tyrant will be challenged, and while they are taking the Overlord.
Yes, that's so true. Unfortunately here, their team Vagos Divine was kind of like questioning their decision to actually go for the Tyrant, so no objective for them, and now a chance for Starlight Esports to actually take more towers up top. Hot Eater Tower already, or rather, the second tier tower already has fallen down up top, giving them more gold, more lead, and wow, I mean, this is a very different game too. We're just at 11-minute game time. It is still 0-6 core. I mean, no kill so far for Vagos Divine.
Yes, that's true. No kill so far on Vagos Divine, Kaisaya, as we are seeing here very constant pressure that is continuing right now being applied by Starlight Esports, even though in the middle of the second tier tower as Elaine will be able to actually eliminate one from Vagos Divine. Make it 2 though, and then it will still be continuous, but in exchange there will be 2 people down on the side of Starlight Esports on this one. Wana and Reikire going down as Vagos Divine might be starting their comeback tour on this one, might be going on further, but they need to be really careful because there is still a constant threat that is looming around their jungle, and if they make mistakes here, that might be proven fatal for their chances of going to the finals.
Yes, that's so true. I mean, just match point, just one more win is what they need, and it seems like it is paying off for the side of Starlight Esports with the momentum that they have now. I think what should be our question now is, what else can Vagos Divine do just to completely turn the tables around? Yes, they did get 2 kills, but seems like it's not enough, you know? I mean, that is just like some pick-off that definitely not 100% is going to give them a secure that they can, fully turn around the tables. And now there will be no steal for them. They are quite zoned out in here by the Dolia as well as the Xiao Xiao. And at the same time, Athena's Lady Sun is going to be poking the hell out of them as well. So yeah, let's see how this one will go. Now, just 3 members from the side of Team Vagos Divine defending the base. 2 members, Charlotte as well as Luna, trying to go for a push up top. Quest, super low on HP, she's shit. But then again, gonna be giving her, getting that shield coming from the Dolia as well. But yeah, everyone's just gonna go back into some calm moments.
Yes, that's true. Calm moments is what they need right now for both teams. But for the side of Vagos Divine, they need to do something else on this one. Might be taking a risk, but it might be a risk, but it is still a risk on actually initiating team fights here, because they know that they're at a disadvantage on this one. They don't need to actually go on head first and actually creating a clash between them and Starlight Esports. As we know, Starlight Esports in a 5k gold lead and a 4 kill lead as well. And when you look at the map currently, it is still a constant pressure right here in the second tier middle tower, and we see 4 to 5 people on the side of Starlight Esports, knowing that one person is not around on this particular side of the map for Vagos Divine. They wanted to create that pressure to make that Charlotte go home, or probably they will be at a disadvantage. A Charlotte will be actually continuing to apply that pressure, but in exchange, their high ground tower is going down right now. It is still a very difficult situation on the side of Vagos Divine, and we see a lane will be going up, but Mid Idol will be picked up on that. That will be continuously created on this side of Starlight Esports, wanting to actually not let Vagos Divine give some breathing room for them, and then they will be able to actually trample through their victory on this one, as we see that middle high ground tower just crumbled to the ground.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, more super minions is gonna be coming their way. Oh, the lady just so be falling down. She's quite late in backing away. Ray as well, in a dangerous position, getting chased down by the members of Team Vagos Divine in here. But fortunately, the waves did actually help while she got into the riverside. I mean, if you're fighting a Dolia in a riverside, you have to be very scared, because that is her lair, right?
Yes,
That is her domain. So
Yes,
you have to
that's true.
avoid fighting a Dolia in the riverside. But yeah, she's back to safety, but quite unfortunate for Athena to be caught off guard, just a little bit late into backing away from that siege that they have.
But meanwhile, while Vagos Divine was actually chasing off Dolia on that situation, we see Reiki just evading that situation. We see KN just soloing that Overlord, and we see that Vanguard actually marching, going on to create even a very difficult situation right now for the side of Vagos Divine, as we see a jungle invasion going in on the side of Vagos Divine, and we see might be a Charlotte going down on this one. Yes, that Charlotte is going down as well, so it will be a Shadow Vanguard going in right now at the bottom part of the map, as Starlight Esports will be continuing to apply that pressure, might be wanting to destroy that bottom tier 3 bottom high ground tower, and might be a way for them to actually secure the series right here, right now, as we see going on right here. There would be probably commotions going on here. It is a 4v5 situation right now, and it is now going even harder, as they are just waiting for the minion waves on the side of Starlight Esports to actually march down onto the high ground of Vagos Divine. But they might be into deep right here, right now. But yes, they might be into really deep right now. Seachick will be going down, but in exchange, they will be actually taking 3 people from the side of Vagos Divine. It will be a 3v2 situation right now as KN is going down. They are still continuing to apply pressure on that. They wanted to break that crystal right now. They wanted the series right now, and they will be probably getting that series. And yes, they will be getting that series 2-0 on the side of Starlight Esports. You will be going to the finals.
You can see how happy they are, and I'm so happy for them as well. I mean, we're back to I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like Shrek in the background. I mean, I think that's their luck. Maybe that could be. But yeah, congratulations to Starlight Esports. Wow, it was just a very dominating match that they had, most especially here in a game 2, and our player from the mall. I wish we could do their names in there, but just to give them shout outs. And yes, we can see that item coming from the Dolia, giving that shields here and there, saving the life of Elaine a while ago. So right. I mean, that was just such a clutch, right? If we call it.
Yes, that's clutch. I agree. Whew. Would you take a look at that beauty, Kaisaya? That is quite a game. I think with that constant pressure on the end part of the last moments of the game, actually I think they were just waiting for the vanguards to actually go down and climb up the high ground of Vagos Divine. Even though there are still people going to the side, going in for a team fight on Vagos Divine's base, there might be people from Starlight Esports going down, but they were able to actually create an exchange. I think on that later part of the game, they're just waiting for the vanguards to actually arrive, so that they will be able to actually create a space for them to assault that crystal, and they really wanted to take that game because we know in Honor of Kings right here, when you're in quite an advantage right now, and your heroes are quite powerful in that scene. It would be quite just probably 2 or 3 seconds to actually put down that crystal that quick, including the vanguards. It will create even less of a time. And now, with that MVP of the game, Kaisaya, please introduce to us.
Our MVP of the game will be Wuna, getting that 6-3 KDA score, damage dealt to 44.3. It's not that much. She actually got more damage taken, 56.5k, but lots of split pushes that we saw from a while ago. Total goals 11.7k. Teamfight participation not that much as well, but to be fair, it's quite good enough. Elaine, that's the hero she used a while ago. We saw the amazing Death at Sunset just being used at the right time, and at the same time collaboration, thanks to the collaboration with the Dolia as well.
Yeah, that's true. That Dolia with that Elaine is actually helping Elaine take even more damage. Like when I saw that you've mentioned that Elaine has taken more damage than he dealt, it's because of the Dolia. The Dolia was there to just roam around, support, give shields, give health, reset cooldowns, and would actually be there all around support. And we see how much potent the Dolia pick was on the onset of the game, and it just left me speechless with that really clutch save with that shield. Oh my lord, I lost breath there. And it feels like my voice was pressed on that particular play. This is quite an intense moment for them, and yes, we are going to see more of Starlight Esports later, Kaisaya.
Yeah, and now I think they need to take a breather. I mean, it's fortunate that it actually ended up on a 2-0 score, because maybe I don't know what time closes in there in Indonesia, or which mall one of the players of Starlight Esports is in currently while playing the game, but hopefully she will not be caught off guard on the closing of the mall. But then again, here's our updated bracket. Now you see it. D35 will be going up against Starlight Esports, and sitting pretty ladies, D35 for sure learned a thing or two about Starlight Esports. So I'm so excited what they're going to be respecting later on, or what kind of playstyle they're going to be doing against Team Starlight Esports. We'll just find out later.
Yes, that would be quite interesting right here. Only here on Project 160 Accession of Queens, presented to us by CLX Productions, brought to you by Project CLX, and supported by Honor of Kings. This is Jet, together with me, Kaisaya. This is still a continuous term. We wanted to actually show more on how these teams perform, and I just have my jaw dropped on how these ladies performed, even from day one up to now. They're amazing.
Yes, amazing as they are. But I guess we're just going to be heading on to a really short break as we prepare you for the match, Grand Finals match, D35 versus Starlight Esports, and at the same time, give a little breathing room for Starlight Esports as they prepare for the finals. Once again, we're your casters. I'm Kaisaya. With me is Jet. We'll be seeing you guys in a few minutes break.